It's no secret that I absolutely adore virtual reality. That being said, I've never actually used the Oculus Rift or HTC Vive. My entire experience of VR comes from mobile headsets like the Samsung Gear VR, and even with this fairly basic version in comparison to the high-end hardware, it's made me really excited to see what the future has in store for this groundbreaking technology. So today we're going to be taking a look at 5 ways that virtual reality headsets will revolutionise the world that we live in. I feel like one of the most interesting applications for virtual reality can be found inside the education system. Now, I know when I was at school, and probably still now, people complain that school is really boring and a lot of people just want it to be more fun and engaging. Well, virtual reality can have the potential to do exactly that. Imagine being in a science lesson, learning about the planet and volcanoes and geothermal rocks and all that stuff that I don't remember anymore. Now, rather than just sitting in a classroom, looking at a textbook, now imagine being able to use a virtual reality headset to be standing on the edge of a volcano as your teacher across the room is describing what is happening in front of your eyes. Now that sounds like an awesome way of learning. Okay, so I'm going to conjure up my inner nerd for this next moment. Even though this may not be a use that us everyday folk will get to use, it's still pretty bloody awesome. Scientists at NASA have a tough mission: to search for life on other planets. As we speak, NASA are looking into cutting-edge virtual reality technology to control their robots and rovers on Mars and to provide astronauts with a way to de-stress during extended periods in space. At NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, researchers have connected the Oculus Rift with motion sensing equipment, like the Kinect, to control robotic arms with the operator's gestures. And according to NASA, this kind of setup could one day be used to control robots on the surface of other planets. Now, I know it's really nerdy, but little things like that are really fucking cool. I think one of the biggest impacts that virtual reality is gonna have is the way that we view sports and concerts. Now, I know nothing will ever change the experience of being there, being in the seats, being in the crowd and experiencing that firsthand. But where virtual reality really comes into its own is if you were going to stay at home and watch it on TV anyway, or something along those lines. Now you can actually use a virtual reality headset to put yourself in the crowd without actually having to be there. You may not have the full sensory experience of actually being there, but getting to see either a sporting event or a concert up close and personal from the comfort of your own home will definitely appeal to a lot of people. Okay, I couldn't make this video without, of course, mentioning gaming. Gaming is probably one of the things I am most excited about to use virtual reality in. Ever since the Oculus dev kits have been coming out, people have always been talking about the possibilities of sit-down gaming, where you're in cockpits, in tanks, and just using the virtual reality headset to look around. There's always been strange problems with walking around in virtual reality, but since the HTC Vive's release and the inclusion of room-scale VR, it's really changing the game. The amount of possibilities that VR is giving now is really going to change gaming in the future. And I know it's all really expensive at the moment, but one day virtual reality headsets might just be as cheap as other gaming peripherals like steering wheels or PC monitors. And not to mention, one day consoles will come bundled with one standard. At least I hope so. So our final use of VR is probably my favourite and the one that gets me the most excited to get my hands on one of these headsets. And it is, of course, movies. Gone are the days of sitting in the cinema, people being noisy and shit behind you and distracting you throughout the film. Now you can have your very own personal cinema in the comfort of your own home. I personally feel that, unlike sports and concerts, the crowd being around you in a cinema isn't the bit of the cinema experience that you go to enjoy. A lot of the time that's just a nuisance and you wish they weren't there. Well, I do anyway. VR cinemas just seem like the best way to view movies, in my opinion. Screens as big as you want, an entire cinema to yourself, watch it in space for all I care. And it doesn't even have to be just movies. You can watch TV shows, other entertainment, you can watch a football match in a cinema screen if you want. The possibilities are endless. And you can even bring gaming back into this one. Say a game isn't supported by VR, you can still play that game in a virtual cinema and have a giant screen to play it on. That just sounds so cool. So there you have it, guys. That was my rundown of 5 awesome uses of VR, which I hope will be coming in the very near future. I hope you enjoyed that video, and if you have any ideas of ways VR will be changing the world in the coming years, leave them in the comment section below and let everyone know. So without further ado, that's it for the video today, guys. I hope you enjoyed that, and will be sure to like, comment and subscribe if you did, as well as follow me on Twitter. I've been TheRoyalGorilla. Over and out.
His name is Luke and he's more than your average gamer. No ordinary let's player. Know about Easter eggs much better. Da 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 da. His name is Luke, aka the Royal Gorilla. Even bigger than the giant Godzilla. Follow him in every game he goes. Da 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 da. He's almost got everything you need from GTA 5